In our last session we were developing the classical report and we were able to see the output, but still the report alignment is not correct, so we will fix that today. And also the subtotals and totals are not coming, we'll also try to do that as well. So this is how the report is coming right now. Let's fix it. And because it is not like readable, nobody can understand which row is part of which one, and also some more things like if you see the Excel sheet, they need an header for the report. Yeah, you can see here you need a header, and also the report should appear like this, right? Each column name, and below that there should be an data and also subtotal and also total. So let's do that. Before we start, let's understand some more things today. Control break events. Okay, control break events. This event can only be used inside loop and end loop. Okay, you cannot use it outside the loop. Okay, and also the sort statement is mandatory. Okay, sort statement is mandatory. And okay, so there are some events like at first, at new of field, at end of field, and then at last. Okay, so these are the 4 events which we have in control break. Okay, so the first event at first will trigger, or this event will trigger for first row in an internal table. Okay, so this one will trigger for the first row of an internal table. So this one is, the last one is simple again. This will trigger for the last row of an internal table. Okay, at first will always trigger for the first row, and then at last will always trigger for the last row. There is also one more on change of, but this is absolute. Okay, on change of field, this event is absolute, so we should not use this event. Okay, there are actually 5, but one is absolute, we should not use it. Okay, so at first will trigger for the first row of internal table, at last will trigger for the last row of an internal table. These two are clear, right? First row and last row. Are we clear? That means at first will trigger for this row and at last will trigger for this row. Is this clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, so this event will trigger for every new value of field or left justified field. Okay, or left justified field of an internal table. this event will trigger for every last value, every end of new value, or else let's say every end of new value. Okay, so this too might be confusing to you now, but let's see that in the system. Okay, I'll show you that in the system. So let's go back. So before we do something, let's arrange it maybe little bit. We will do arrangement. Let's go in change mode. I'll just click on this. So this is how it is been written right now. So what user want is, they also want to display the headers, right? So they want to display headers first, so this should be only displayed once. Okay, so the moment the loop statement is executed, we will write the headers. So what I did, I just, to save the time, I just converted all this to like this. Okay, so we can use like this. See, this is, I just converted the text. Okay, it is easy, when you can also do that, nothing is special in that. Let's go back and copy the text, the program. Okay, so now how do you make sure that it is inside a loop? It might be executed multiple times, but how do you make sure it is only executed once? Right? So that's the question now. Yes, we can use at first, right? Only at the first time the loop is executed. Please execute this code at first, and then here you say at first will end here. Okay, at first and end that, and we will see that. Let's also arrange it properly, like let's say vendor number might start from the first vendor name. So vendor number can be around 10 characters. Maybe I'll leave 2 characters to this, and let's start from the 12th characters to print the vendor name. So vendor name can be up to 35 characters, maybe 35 plus 12, 45 and 47. Let's say, let's 50 onwards will start the city. Again, this is a 30 characters. How do I know? Because I'm taking classes from so many days, I remember the length of the fields. Okay, maybe some of them I don't remember, that's completely fine. We will see if I don't remember. Let me see here. If I double click on the name, and if I go to LFA1 name 1, and you can see this is actually 35 characters, right? So just an assumptions that I'm doing and providing from where the report, this column should be displayed, right? So that's what I'm doing. So again, this is 35 characters. 50 plus 35 is around 85. Maybe from 85 onwards will print pivot. It is 10 characters. 85 plus 10 is 95. Maybe from 97 onwards will print item number. This is actually 6 character field. 97 plus 6 is 103. Maybe from 105 we will print the material number. This is 18 character. 105 plus 20, maybe we will say 125 onwards will print material description. Material description is 40 characters. 125 plus 40 is 165. We will print purchase group. So purchase group is 4 character field, but the description is little lengthier one. Let's say from 175 onwards print the date. It is 10 characters. 175 plus maybe 187 onwards will print company code, and company code COMP. Maybe we'll just make it little short. Okay, so 187 plus 10, or let's say from 195 onwards, let's print company code. This is again name of a company code, 35 characters. 195 plus 35 is 230. Purchase org, right? And purchase organization, it is 4 characters again, but there is a description, bigger description. Maybe we'll just short it to PO. 4 characters, right? Let's say 235 and 237, 36, yeah, maybe 237 onwards. We'll start printing this column, and 237 plus again 35 characters, 277. No, 277 should be fine. This is again for a character field. Let's say 277, maybe from 285 onwards. Let's print the plan name, and after that 285, 95, 305. 315 will print storage location. Material storage location is again 4 characters, but you can see the length, description length is big. It's more than 10 character, I guess. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, around 15, right? 315 plus 15, 330 material group, and it is again 345 quantity is 16 character field, so 345 plus 16 is 356. Maybe from 360 onwards we'll print unit of measure. 365 we will print order value. Again it is 16 characters. Maybe from 380 we will print the currency. Okay, so I'll say 380 plus it is again around 390. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's tell the system that whenever it generate the list screen, okay, the line size would be 390. Okay, I'll just tell the system, please enable the scrolling bar for 390 lines. Okay, that means 390 characters, 1 2 3 4 5 6, like that. 390 characters we are printing in the screen horizontally. Please also enable the scrolling bar so that it can be scrolled, right? So that's what I'm telling to the system. So let's activate and see whether all of them are in place. I just assumed some length and add those characters. Yeah, so you can see something, it is coming, but vendor city is printed here, but it is printing here. Item number should be moved a little bit to the right. Material number is coming under the item number. Material description is moved little bit to the right because it is not coming or aligned properly so far. And if you see the company code and company code name is there is no space between that, so maybe we will increase one space. Purchase org name is also just that's fine, maybe at least one space. Plant and plant name, but data is not coming exactly under where it should be printed, right? So to tell the system to also print the data exactly where it should be printed, and to tell the system to print the data also under the column. I'll just copy this and paste it here. Okay, so let's activate and execute now. Simple. Wherever you started printing your descriptions of the columns, right below you also print the column data. So let's go back and execute the program and execute again, and now you see it is coming properly. This is how you align the classical report. Okay, if you are smart, you might do it in this way. Otherwise, every time you add a column, then you have to worry, right? So still you see there is not enough. I think we have to increase a bit. Vendor city is taking too much, but the city names are too small. Maybe we can reduce the vendor city. Okay, if in case if we do that, we have to do changes to all of them. This is the issue with classical report, right? So the solution would be ALV report for this. You'll know how simple ALV will be, okay, once we start it, but till then, see. These two are maybe little bit of spaces we will add. Let's go back to display. 1285 on Windows city 50, right? This should be fine, but city is too small space. Maybe I'll just say 50 instead of 50. I'll reduce it to 15 characters should be most, I guess. 12 plus 15. Let's start displaying it from 30th. Sorry, vendor name is bigger, right? Sorry, not that one. So let's not print it from 85. That is a 35 characters. Let's print it from 75. I'll reduce maybe 70. Okay. Again we have to recalculate these numbers. 70 plus 10, 80. Let's say from 85, please print item number, and then here '85 plus 95 and 18. 95 plus 18, how much?
113.
Yeah, let's say from 115. 40 characters. 115 plus 40, 155. Let's say 160 onwards will print purchase group. Purchase group again 15 characters we don't need, that is too much. 3 5 6 7 8 9 175. Let's say 172. 172 plus 10, 182, and let's say from 185 we'll print company code. $185 plus 10, that should be okay enough. Company code name 195 plus 35. So let's say from 235 onwards we'll increase 5 for the names after the names. 235 onwards we will print purchase org. Purchase org is again maybe we'll take 10 characters for that. 245, not 10, maybe. Okay, that's fine. 245 plus 35, 280, right? Let's say from 285 onwards will print plant, or from 283 or 2 onwards will print plant, or 3 should be fine, or 5. Okay, plant name, (285) and 5, 290 295 onwards will print plant name. 295 plus 35, how much? 330, right? $345, $360, $375, not enough. $380, and order value, $385, no, let's say $390. Pretty printer, and save. Let's activate. Let's execute now. Now it's better. Right, it's better now. We can move maybe one. Yeah, that's okay. I think we also have to increase. $410, $420. So first of all, this is how you align the classical report. Bit complicated. Let's execute and see again. Last 2 columns were missing. Scroll to the last. When currency is coming now, it's better. Any doubts till now? Anybody, any doubts? But if you see, the currency is coming in AED, right? What was the requirement? All the currency should be converted to INR, right guys? Right? But it is coming in AED, right? We cannot do total and subtotal, because here it may be AED, in maybe for some more are INR, some of them are USD. We cannot do subtotal on this number. The currency should be converted to common, because if you see here, they also need the subtotal and total. We cannot total the USD and INR both. It should be only in INR, or it should be only in USD or euros. How do we do the currency conversion now? Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel from the beginning. SAP has lots of reusable code already provided to us. We have to only use it. Okay, function module to convert currency. To INR maybe. That's what we need, right? So you see there is an function model here, convert to local currency. You can use that function model for converting it. Convert to local currency, translate foreign currency amount to the local currency. You see, this is a function model. So let's go and use that. Let's go to SC37. So convert star to star local star. See, convert to local currency. This is a function model you can also execute, and see you can provide some dates and all, you can convert it. Okay, let's call this function model in our program. I go back to where I'm filling the final internal table. So before I fill the final internal table, I should be able to convert the currency. So this is where I'm filling the NETPR. Maybe I'll just call that function here, call function convert to local currency, shift enter, and there's so many things are coming. I'll just enable till exceptions, and I want only import the local amount. I'm only interested in local amount, and other things should be fine. Okay, so exchange rate is defaulted to M. Don't have to pass anything. Let it take the default value. So now the current client, current date, right? Date is very important because every time the dollar values or the AED values will be changed. Every day they will have new values. So date is very important. The configuration will be maintained based on the date. The foreign amount is coming from this one. Okay, so and the foreign currency is also coming here from this one. Okay, and the local currency that I want to convert is coming from P underscore what was that in the selection screen that we defined. It should be converted to this, right? INR. So it is coming from here. The local amount should be stored to this one, work area final NETPR. This is where the local amount should be stored. If size of bar C not equal to 0, or else if it is equal to 0. Okay, if it is equal to 0, please fill the converted amount, right? So simple. So let's do pretty printer now. It is simple, just I'm calling the function model with some additional parameters. Okay, so that will give me the converted currency. So let's also debug and understand how it is going to do. Let's activate the program, and I'll go in the fill file. Sorry, it's fine. I'll keep at the breakpoint here, then execute. Now you can see that this is the client and current date is 15/11/2022, and the amount is 1, that is AED, right? So what we want to convert it to INR. So after converting, let's see what happens. I press F6. You see 1 AED is equal to 17.35 INR. Understood? Again 1 AED. Okay, so now you see 500 AED to INR we are doing, right? See, I'm just going to press F6. 500 AED is equal to 8675.50 INR. So now currency conversion is working properly. If you there is a problem with euros and INR exchange rate, maybe there is no configuration exist, that's why the problems are coming now. Euro to INR rate relations are not exist, the configuration is not maintained. Let's do one thing. Maybe I'll just go back and delete the euros, because the problem is with the currency the problem is with the configuration. We cannot do anything. Maybe functional consultant can do the configuration, so it's not our issue actually. So maybe if there is something with WARS, I'll just delete. Okay, equal to euros, wherever it is equal to euros, please delete all the entries. Okay, I'm just telling the system that wherever the currency type is euros, please delete the entries. Okay, so that we will get rid of euros entries from the table, because we don't have the configuration exist in the system. So even we cannot go back and do the configuration, currency configuration. Okay, sorry for the noise. Let me execute the program and see. Now the report is coming. Maybe we have deleted the entries with the euros, because that had a problem, and now you can see all the currencies are coming in INR. So now it would be easy for us to doing subtotal and also total, right? So vendor, based on the vendor we have to do. Let's see, one more thing is that whenever you use the vendor, right, so that should be here in the first, okay, in the final structure, because you're going to apply you're going to apply you're going to use this column, right? It also take that if the column is somewhere here in the middle, it considers all the column for at new and at last. So but in our case, the system should only be considering the first column. So what I do, I just keep it at the first place, so that it will not consider all the left justified key fields, and this is the first field. In that case, it only considers that field, right? So I just go back here and also say the system that do subtotaling, maybe of for each and every end of the row, right? Before that, before I use at new of and at end of, I also have to sort my internal table with a column. Okay, so like this, I have to also sort it. So let's go back and here let's use at new of every vendor. Sorry, at new, it is at not at new, and I made a mistake here. There is no of. At new of LIFNR. Okay, end dot. Then I'll tell the system that for every new vendor, you please also print the text is as a new vendor, right? So that's what customer wanted. So let's say write new vendor. Okay, and this should be printed before printing any data for every new vendor, right? So I'm telling the system for every new vendor, you please print a text called new vendor. So but at end of okay, there is a of here. at end of LIFNR end dot. So I'll do pretty printer again. So for every end of an vendor, I need an subtotal. Okay, I'll tell the system, you please sum. I want a subtotal, you please sum. Very simple, right? Just sum, and you have to tell the system which column to be summed. Let's say subtotal. I'll just add a text called subtotal, and also I'll tell the system that please subtotal this column. Okay, please subtotal this column. So, and also at end of the report, okay, I also need the grand total at last. Okay, that is a grand total. Grand total. I'll just do pretty printer and also save the program and come back here and then activate the program. So let's activate and come back and also debug and understand what is and how these events have been triggered. So let's execute. GT underscore final, and then here you can see there are some vendors which are not even having the value. We don't need them anyways because empty vendors, I think those are the dummy data, right? We cannot display them. Anyways, I'll just execute for now and go back and tell the system that please don't fetch the vendor wherever it is empty. I don't need a vendor where it is empty. Okay, I'll just click on this extension button. Again, I'm showing you, click on this multiple selection button and click on this button single value here, and tell the system that okay, I don't need the vendor with empty value. Okay, I'll just also save this as a variant, say test, because I don't want to select that again and again. I'll also say description as test. Okay, the variant name. Okay, just want to store these values, and now if I execute, you'll not get the empty vendor. Okay, the vendor will not be fetched without a value. You go and check now, you will have the vendors with a value. You see, without vendor there we cannot have the report, right? If there is a vendor, then only user want to see how much they have paid to this vendor. So guys, if you see now, this is 102 and this is the same vendor but two purchase orders, right? So we want to do subtotal for these two values, but there is only one vendor here, no multiple vendors. So again, there are multiple vendors with different purchase orders, or the same purchase order, but the line item of the purchase order is different. You see, this is 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, so we have to do kind of subtotal now there. And now at first will trigger for the first row of an internal table, and at last will trigger for the last row of an internal table. These two are very clear for you, right? At first will trigger for the first row of an internal table, and then at last will trigger for the last row of an internal table. This is clear, right guys?
Yes.
Okay, now at new will trigger for this row. This is the every new value. Again for this row, this is also new value. Again for this row. Okay, again for this row. For every new value of this column, at new will trigger. Understood? Understood when at new will trigger? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now again for every last value of For the last row, right, for every end of this value, the end of should trigger. That means for this one it will trigger, there is only one value, so it will trigger for this also. This is a new value, again starting at new will trigger there, and at end will trigger here, at new will trigger here, and then at end will trigger at end of 116. Okay, that's when at end will trigger, that means somewhere here. Here. See, 116, right, at end should trigger here, again at new will trigger here, and at end will trigger here. Understood? When these events will trigger, you please also try to debug these events. Okay, are we clear till now? Anybody, any doubts so far? Guys, are we clear till now? Anybody, any doubts so far? Hello?
We are good,
Okay,
Rajneesh.
so
Clear, sir.
let's say at new let's do one thing. I'll keep breakpoint here, and here, and here, and here, and then just to understand, I'll also replace this with the tables so that I can show you GT final. Okay, so you see, observe the tab by X. That tab by X is will display the number which row is been accessed now. I press F8, you see for the first row, at first is triggering this one. Even at new will also trigger for the first row only. You see, we are right now reading the first row. At end of will trigger for the second row, because this is the end of 102. At new is triggering for third row. You see, third row, that is a new value. At end will also trigger because only one value. So at new is again triggering for the fourth row. You see, it is stopping. At end is triggering for the ninth row. That is the end of 115. See, at new will also trigger for 116. Sorry, 10th row. That is 116. At end of will trigger for the 86th row. 116 ending at number 86. See, right? So this is how the control break events are working. You see, it is triggering for 87th row. Understood? So I'll just delete all of them now. I just print the report. You see, new vendor text is coming, and also subtotal text is coming, and if I scroll to the right, even the subtotal is also coming here. It's printed, but it is little difficult for me to identify even you. So let's make the report colorful. I'll just tell the system that please format color maybe 1 to 7. You can use any color. I'll just say 1, and please switch off that color here. Color off. I do pretty printer. then save and activate it. Then execute again. Okay, so you see it is saying it is inactive. Let me do it again. Maybe let's put some more colors to this. Not only for this one, let's also have some colors here. Maybe for this I'll say color 2. Okay, data I don't want to put any colors, but for the subtotal I want to switch on the color format, color 3, and I'll switch off the color again, format color off, format color 4, and format color off. Okay, some colors I just kept it, and now we'll go back and see. Now it will become more beautiful report. Earlier we couldn't able to apply, we couldn't able to identify which column is what. Now you see how colorful it will become. Execute. Wow, see, different colors, right? If you scroll down, this is subtotal. You will know this line. Even if you scroll to the last, you can easily identify this is the subtotal. If you scroll down at the end, you can also identify this is the grand total, right? How colorful it become now. Understood? You can also see heading. If you don't want to print this program ZMMPOB20, so you can also suppress that by adding an additional statement here in the report keyword here by saying that please don't display the standard page heading. Okay, no standard page heading. That will suppress the report name. And also I don't think it is good to print a new vendor for the first row. If sy-tab ix equal to 1, not equal to 1, then only print this. Otherwise don't print. I don't want this heading, right? Do pretty printer, save, and go back and activate it again, and then execute. Select that variant again, then execute. Maybe I'll just tell the system that I want vendor from, okay, let it be, that's fine, it's getting all the data. See, new vendor text is not coming here, but it is coming after this. Now it's more colorful and more identifiable, right? If you want to provide an underline here for the vendor, you can also do that. Okay, let's say I just want an underline after the text. To do that, I'll say uline, start from 0th character and end at 420th character. Do pretty printer, save, and go back to the main program, then activate, and execute. See, even underline is also coming now, right? So this is all about the requirement. So anybody, any doubts, we could able to do all of it. Any doubts anywhere? We done with classical report. Are we clear?
Yeah, Rajnish. Same data in case if you want to store some custom table, so how you have to do it? You will
Means
cover it. Same, we are getting this output, right? I want to store into the particular custom, creating the new custom table. So I want to store this data.
the moment you display data or like how?
Yeah, whatever it is, the moment display, but after displaying the data only, we have to store into the custom
Okay,
table,
tell
right?
me which statement you will use to insert data to the table.
Update function model you
Yes.
have to use, right?
Same way, maybe after this, you anyways you have the data in the final internal table, right? What is required. So you
Yes.
create one table with all these columns and say modify or update or insert.
Okay.
Anyways, it is not required, right? Because this report is bringing the
No,
data.
it's not required. We just want to know that how you have to do it.
Either you can delete, I just deleted because there should not be an issue with EUR, or you can also say condition if the currency is EUR, or you can suppress if it is not equal to 0, we are displaying the message, right? You can just hide this message and can also do that. Okay, anyways, I'm displaying error, so I just deleted it. Okay, so you can also try other ways. So that's all guys, then we done with the classical report. Tomorrow we will start with classical interactive. Thank you for your time. See you. Bye bye.